Must save the world, must save the world, must save the world, must save the world, must. I. Ah. Okay, so. Alright, so it's not funny. I'm really trying. Um, very bad camera here. I was going to show some notes here that I'm constantly writing, okay? So that's sort of my escape is writing. So if you can read this. I'm surprised because the computer is showing very grainy stuff. But um, I am working intensely on this stuff. Okay, so um, I think it's going to change the world. To save the world, save the world, save the world. This is very complicated reality that you calculate a simple solution, and that's what I've been doing for a long, long, long time. I was working on that, and so that's it. Making making it's like the ET SETI thing, making contact with sort of Hollywood, basically Redwood Hollywood. It's like the two together. That's the old extraterrestrial, right? That how can um some of these notes I've been taking. I'll just read some off of it. Basically, expecting the uninformed child into child youth, to do the right thing is like, you know, that does not explain America because America was, you know, it wasn't America before Christopher Columbus. Basically, it was so that's because geography did not allow it. It was just not possible. That's everywhere immigration, but of the right kind, of the controlled kind. So making sure that you have proper flow. Without that proper flow, you've got problems. Foolish refractions, deflecting, foolish refractions, fractious abstract reactions. That's tricky, huh? Social ecology, elemental, God's inverted false punishment, and all humanity's suffering. The sweet conspiracy, oh, it's sweet, and it's acidification. So this is, that's how it happens. Everything's sweet, and then you're like, oh, isn't that wonderful? But then, without the sour notes, without the dissonance, without those elemental. So I got a whole bunch of notes. They're on these little pieces of paper here. I'm trying to do this on big paper, where I'm doing the same detail, but cosmic maps that are basically really, 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 really humble and constantly watching. I mean, I'm, that's all I do is I watch. I don't have the peace to be normal. It's like that's not what I learned as a kid. Okay, that's I grew up on the West Coast. You don't find that. Okay, there aren't people who grew up Redwood, Hollywood, Redwood. It's there's the great, that's. So I wrote the story. Was that Miss Murphy? I don't have those notes with me. I'm gonna do that. Miss Murphy, Mr. Soul, and the Jacksons' fifth son. So this is just this fantastic sort of these satellites uh, of it's difficult to like without the world centered on you. It is very difficult to focus. But basically, okay, so Miss Jackson, this is like Kurt Cobain or Jimi Hendrix, right? Left-handed on the left coast of West America. So these people are, they're sharp, they're talented, but they're out of their realm. The the North Pacific, and then Mr. Soul. You know, I, I spent my I lived in North Carolina when I was uh, a baby, and Virginia is just across the border there. Right, and I was born in Atlanta, and so you know, technology runs in the family. Very close to Virginia. Don't be like a jerk, right? 'Cause, you know, the Joker is an idiot, right? So I mean, there's like this psychiatric sort of, you know, just insanity. Yes. Okay. As long as we got that straight. Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these elements, elemental, you know, like a false god, the one who's on the wrong side, the one who's this extreme. So, you know, the Kurt Cobain, Fort Hood, Virginia Tech, um, and then you know, if those are too if those are too extreme, you know, look at Michael Jackson, right? It's like, okay, if you're gay, just say so. I mean, don't, you know, that's his, the truth will set you free, right? So that's why I'm telling fiction, because there is no freedom, so to speak. I don't know. It's, hello? Okay, so, and the voice, you know, so the voice losing faith. This is something that, um, you know, what the heck am I doing on on YouTube? You know, okay, so it's because I've completely lost face. Okay, so this is you know, the man in space. You know, um, fundamental poetry, right? So, um, see here, what is it writing? Humanity suffering. Holy men are supposed to ID and prevent. Okay, that's why we have religion. We say, okay, let's have these people who can identify those elements that are dysfunctional to that are just hello that are dysfunctional. And if we do that, if that action is carried out, not the thought, the action. Okay, so the you know, your general thoughts turn into gen on the wrong side of general. Okay, reverse those words. You know, that's like evolution, right? We do want that, but we don't want to be feeling, you know, the thoughts and the feelings, separating them so that they are not being thrown away. So that okay, so health in Kinieri, like the fifth element, sort of, you know, the fourth, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, Kinieri. Health in Kinieri vergence, like convergence, but Kinieri vergence. Con Conquista Varjensky, Varjensky, Kripsky. um, okay, so Kini Vergence, fifth world, advanced ambiguity, and acute intelligence. This is like this psychological description of myself. Advanced ambiguity and acute intelligence, or vice versa. Who can tell? Who the well can't tell. Sugar sweet, yet history is hell. So just don't read the history. That's okay. So this is just junk in this echo chamber as usual. Um, so I'm working on the vehicle of the future. Okay, so this is something that I find just utterly fantastic. It's not psychologically, but physically escapist. Okay, so look at the highway. You know, we all know this, that you go crazy on the highway. Okay, like the computers that sort of mentally escape. You're not actually moving, but the vehicle of the future is is just is something that, because I work on this extremely deep philosophical stuff, that I almost like physically have to balance it out with an architectural fantasy. And so this is what the vehicle of the future is all about. It's about comfort over efficiency. Once you put comfort first, efficiency becomes a reality. And it's a whole quantification. It's not a toy. It's not a race car. So it's something that a child could use. So it's this whole series, um, and it's a whole series of these fundamental sort of vehicles, actual physical automobile vehicles that, and I keep waking up and stuff, and I'm staying at this nice kind of place, right? I'll go down and I keep thinking good morning, but then I realize snap, when the hell am I? I don't know. I have to I have to and you know like I said, you start on the far side where your culture has no history, or your family has no history. You need your family, but your culture, the same, has very shallow history. That this is the paradigm. Okay, so this is um, to make this happen. Jesus, the more I the more I claim, the more even if I just think it, then it's sort of like I'm cursing that whole path forward. So, like um, I'm encouraging others. I'm like they see my like intense sort of focus, constant sort of Zen focus. Okay, so I'm like tune everything out. Um, that's not so great either. I mean, I'd rather be a human than a god, right? I'd rather be a hammer than a nail, right? So that's how that relates there. It's a deep one. Um, so where was I? Yeah, I'm here, and I keep trying to like navigate myself, and all I have to do is think it, and I fear it, and um, trying to get to the it's it's difficult, but it's like seems like I don't know. The vehicle of the future will be fantastic. This is like this whole series again, and um, that's what I want to do. And I'm praying that somewhere over the rainbow, right? So like there's someone's gonna say, we need the smartest person there is, to to you know put the those two together, type of robotic sort of philosophical sort of. So that's what I want to do, that I hope to do, and I don't know. Uh, so it's um, I'm trying to always like say like more than I should, because I feel like that's it's I have something to say, but it's like the statistic that I'm working on, a net that people refuse to see. It's like we cannot see it, we cannot prevent it, and it's like this false god, if you will, that we're very sensitive about it. We all right. So it's just chaos here. I'm trying to go